You can talk sports with us toll free 855-212-4CBS 855-212-4CBS.
CBS Sports Radio.
Hi, I'm Santita Gomez, and I'm a senior cheerleader for the Kirbyville Wildcats, wishing our team an awesome season. Go Wildcats!
And welcome inside the Coach's Corner with Coach Brandon Morrell, coming to you from the SportsRadioBeaumont.com studios here every Tuesday from 5 until 6, also on SportsRadioBeaumont.com, AM 1450 and AM 1510. Got a great show for you tonight. Good evening to everyone out there listening. Right now to have a little fun, we get a chance to kind of travel down the road, down I-10. And joining us today, of course, is the Southeast Texas Beasts. They're a team out there ranging the age of 9 to 10 years old. Their record right now is 11-23. They've got one tournament coming up, the Baseball Nation tournament coming up July 18th through the 24th. Always good to see our select baseball players do well. I'm going to start with some introductions. Enjoy having these guys here. Some of the coaches that make this possible. Coach Blake East, a good friend of mine, Coach Jimmy Hallman, who I knew out at Orangefield. Coach Erin Pollock, Coach John Brown. And right now I have John Brown coming with me, and appreciate him being here as a part of the Southeast Texas Beast right here. Whoever wants to speak here, Coach Jimmy Hallman, Coach Blake East, and welcome you guys to the studio.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
We appreciate having you guys. Well, talk to me a little bit about how this team got started. I mean, you guys have mentioned some of the stats out there, 11-23. You know, talk to me about how the innovation and I guess the ideas behind this team and how you got involved coaching 9 to 10-year-olds.
It really got started because there was a void in Orange with our baseball program, and we really wanted to put a good group of guys together that really wanted to play baseball more than just your summertime league. We picked up some really great kids that really wanted to be better baseball players and be better boys.
Talk to me a little bit about the team name, where you guys came up with the Southeast Texas Beast.
You have the LCM Bears, so we kind of gravitated toward that, and we ended up with the name Beast.
Now, you mentioned you guys 11-23. You do have the one tournament coming up July 18th through the 24th, the Baseball Nation tournament. How have some of the past tournaments been for you guys so far?
The first few tournaments were really, that was our learning curve. And then after that, we've really kind of figured out how to play. It took us a few tournaments to kind of figure that out. The strategies of not so much wanting to win so much on Saturday, but save some stuff for Sunday so you can make it a little farther in some of these tournaments.
It's just great to see young kids get involved in select baseball. And one of the things I think as a coach being in the business, they have to learn, and I know Jimmy will agree with this, is the fact they have to learn fundamentals. And it's just one of the great areas to get started, especially at this age level, being 9 to 10 years old, and how that transitions throughout their career in baseball. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, I totally agree. And that's what's great about this age. We are truly learning the fundamentals of baseball. It's hitting, throwing, catching, base running.
And wouldn't you say that, of course, one of the things I know a lot of times in the coaching business, it is a business, and, of course, we're judged on wins and losses, but a lot of times, too, I think sometimes, young kids, we need to remember they're just kids, and we got to have fun with them, too, as well.
Oh, exactly. And we've really tried to keep it fun, to keep it interesting, to keep it fun, to keep it upgoing, very positive. We're not going to yell. We're not yelling at kids. We're not putting them down. This is really an uplifting experience.
Again, Tuesday night here from 5 to 6 is SportsRadioBeaumont.com. Our guest, of course, is John Brown. He's one of the coaches for the Southeast Texas Beast select baseball team out at Ford Park. And talk to me a little bit about some of your pitchers this year. Looking at some of the stats, you had Gavin Pollock. He went 6-2 this year, win-loss record, had 70 strikeouts. Cameron Bilbo was 2-4, had 36 strikeouts. And also Pierce Brown, 7.50 ERA, but of course the 21 strikeouts, 24 innings pitched. So you had a lot of guys do a lot of different things and pretty much give contributions offensively and defensively.
Gavin, being our left-handed pitcher, really came on strong toward the middle of the season, toward the end of the season. Really strong pitcher, was able to go multiple innings, which at this age is pretty difficult. But he was able to do a complete game, really was able to be aggressive and go after the hitters. Bilbo is a strong-armed right-handed pitcher, really aggressive, really kept him off balance. And then we would bring Pierce in, who is an ace.
It's always good to have one of those.
He is a strike-throwing fool.
And also offensively, led by Sean Hallman, batted .492 with 32 runs batted in. Caden Ball, .475. Cameron Bilbo, .306. But also looking at some of the things, when you look at on-base percentage, you look at some things around .530 or .600 too as well. That's just another way guys can draw walks, be patient at the plate, and get on base. I'll tell you what, that's some good stats right there, good contributions. Again, the Southeast Texas Beast here joining us on the Coach's Corner with Coach Brandon Morrell every Tuesday night from 5 until 6 on SportsRadioBeaumont.com, also AM 1450, AM 1510, or you can download the Sports Radio Beaumont app to listen to the show each and every Tuesday from 5 until 6. Tell you what, I want to get good friend, head coach Jimmy Hallman in here too as well, because we've done some radio in the past, and I guess my question to you, not to throw you off guard, but my question to you, is, you've been in this business for 2 or 3 years, and you got a chance to see a lot of and work with a lot of young athletes, no matter what sport it is. What excited you most about getting involved in select baseball?
Oh, just the passion and the love for the game. The way they love it versus a high school student, you can't even compare them.
Talk a little bit about, of course, you having that background, that experience, being at Orangefield next year. You're going to Bridge City, too, as well. You've had a chance to work with a guy like Josh Smalley. You've had a chance, next year to work with a guy like Chris Stump, and how that's kind of helped you, I guess, curtail this into select baseball, having that coaching experience.
You got to love the kids, and each one of these know that I love them just as much as I love my own beast. The coaches that I've worked under, they just love the kids as much as they can.
Now, your son, of course, Sean, 492, 32 runs batted in, 605 on base. I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves.
He's special. To be as big as he is, he beginning of this year, I didn't know if we were going to make it through. He reminds me of a big baby deer. Just wobbly.
Well, we got a chance to bring in some of the other coaches here. Erin Pollock, Blake East, too, as well, to kind of talk a little bit. And, Blake, if you can talk to me real quick about the season. I mentioned the record 11-23 right now, and you guys have one more tournament coming up July 18th through the 24th, the Baseball Nation tournament. Your expectations, have they been met for you so far this season?
By far have our expectations been met. This is our first year to really play not only select ball, but for these kids, it's their first year kids pitch. And to watch them grow throughout this season has just been a tremendous experience, not only for them, but it's us as parents and coaches. And we are so proud of their progress. They continue to make progress, and for that we're grateful to. For me, that's a success, and that's what we're looking for. Each and every day is progress.
How did you get involved with being a coach in select baseball? Was it something that you played kind of growing up and kind of wanted to do? I mean, I'm sure you got your kids involved.
Absolutely, yes. Way back when select started, we had a little Beaumont Explosion team and had a little experience there, and from there just always hung around baseball and the boys wanting to play, and then we said, with league ball, we can't really choose who plays with who. Let's put a good group of kids together and go play in a very high level of competition that Tyner and Morgan are putting together over there, and it's really, really a good deal, and it's helping these boys out each and every time we go.
Again, Southeast Texas Beast joining us here inside the Coach's Corner with Coach Brandon Morrell every Tuesday from 5 until 6 on sportsradio.beaumont.com, also AM 1450, AM 1510. I know I had Blake East right there, and I also want to talk to Erin Pollock a little bit here and talk a little bit about the expectations for the season. Of course, when everything meshes, too, definitely, and you get these kids the young experience they need from the fundamental standpoint, I think everything else just kind of, the game's pretty much self-explanatory.
Yes, sir. As I said before, in the beginning, it was a new experience not only for the coaches but for the kids. The game changed a lot in select from Little League, not only with the competition level, but with the flow of the game, kids stealing, leading off, trying to turn double plays. And we took 10 kids that a few had played before and most didn't know each other. So we put them together, we made them a team, and throughout the year we've had our flashes of brilliance, as we call it, in our learning curve. But for the most part, they come out, they smile every day, wins or losses, they still love the game. And at this level, that's what's important.
And of course, baseball is a game of statistics, and would you say your statistics were met? I mean, it always starts with pitching, and it starts and ends with pitching. You look at some of the stats there with Gavin and what Cameron put up and what Pierce was able to do too. It starts on the mound, and I think a lot of guys have to be kind of have rubber arms coming out of the bullpen at the same time. But were you pleased with the pitching this year?
As we said, we started with kids that had never pitched before, and that developed throughout the year, and our pitching staff has definitely come along. Got a lot more innings. Bilbo's been strong for us. Gavin's got 40 innings in him now. Bilbo's right there with 39. Being able to stretch those arms and reduce our balls and increase our strike made it successful.
Now, I know if you look at the offensive side of things, of course, you can't win the game without scoring runs, and if you look at hitting, I guess being kind of a science and an art, one of the things I always try to work with guys on at the high school level is having a level swing and just making sure it stays on a level plane. Not taking too much of a stride, but keeping the hands in the right place, throwing the hands through the zone, and just trying to hit the ball where it is pitched. Was that kind of your approach this season?
Yes, sir. Hitting is hard at any level, whether it's this level or at the pro level. Trying to find a swing that curtails and fits each individual kid, because it's not a cookie cutter, project. Got to see what the kid has naturally and then try to find a spot to get him to make him successful.
Now you guys have the next tournament coming up. You mentioned a Baseball Nation tournament July 18th through the 24th out there at Ford Park. What are some of the expectations, or do you know a lot about some of the teams that are going to be participating in that tournament?
We just know we have teams coming from all over Southeast Texas, but Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, there's going to be talent from all over the place. So we're just going to go out and play our ball, throw lots of strikes, and hopefully hit lots of balls and come out successful.
Again, the Southeast Texas Beast joining us here, talking a little bit of select baseball too here with Coach Brandon Morrell inside the Coach's Corner. And I think it's time, Mike will bring some of those young guys in here and just talk about some of the statistics, how they had fun this season, and I guess I can start with Gavin there, the big man on the mound. He was kind of the horse at 6-2. Gavin! Tell me a little bit about your season and what excited you most about joining this team and playing baseball.
About being pitcher and getting lots of strikeouts.
Now, how did it must be funny having 6 wins on the staff, leading the team in wins. That was always something I wanted to do when I played high school baseball, too. But talk about leading the team in wins, how that made you feel. Happy?
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome as well. What about the tournaments do you like the best?
We get to play a lot.
Different teams?
Yeah.
See a lot of different teams, too?
Hey, Coach Morrell, can I jump in?
Go for it.
Hey, Gavin, Mike Langley here. How many strikeouts this year?
70.
70 strikeouts, and that is amazing. What did you think? Every strikeout, what goes through your head as soon as another one goes down and you go, 69, 70? What goes through your head?
About getting another strike.
One more strike, right? Mm-hmm. So when they come up to the plate and they see you on the mound, are they already starting to shake in their boots a little bit?
I never see that.
When you're ready to throw the pitch, you don't see them shaking in their boots, so basically you don't see the batter at all, do you?
No, sir.
You're looking at that strike zone, aren't you?
Yes.
You're homing right in on it, right? Mm-hmm. So there's got to be somebody that throws a fit when you get that big K on them, when you knock them out. You kind of giggle a little bit?
I never giggled before.
You never get. So you're a straightforward guy.
Mm-hmm.
Basically going for the kill and you're good to go, right?
I just get the strikeout and walk up back to the mound.
Who's the player that catches all those pitches?
Caden Ball.
Step up, Caden. Listen, when you're behind the plate, I assume that you call that like your house. A lot of catchers have a name for their area. What do you call yours?
I don't really call it anything. It's just if you try to slide home on me, I would try to protect.
Like it's your little sister or something? You got a little sister?
Yes, sir. Her name's Callie. Her
Miss
birthday,
Callie?
I believe, is in yesterday. It was yesterday.
Her birthday's yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you buy her something?
Forgot.
You forgot? So was it you that had the girlfriend or somebody else?
Oh, that was Bilbo.
Oh, Bilbo. Okay, so we'll get to Bilbo in a second.
Go ahead.
But I want to find out more. When Pierce, Gavin, who's our other pitcher? Who's our other pitcher? Bilbo. We're already at Bilbo again. When those guys are throwing the ball at you, and your job is to make sure it does not get by. Do y'all have like a conversation before the game and say, hey, dude, okay, I need to make sure you throw strikes today?
No, I usually do it during the game.
Come up to the mound, you have that little powwow, that kind of thing?
Yep.
So what do you say to your pitchers when they look like they're starting to struggle just a little bit?
Hey, man, what's up? I've already watched one guy hit another one. Come on, throw some strikes. I know you can do it.
Do they pretty much follow suit right after that, or does the coach have to come out there and...
They usually start throwing strikes.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies of all times is Sandlot, and the catcher's my favorite guy because he talks a lot of trash. Do you talk trash to batters while you're up there?
No, not really. He never talks.
When they get struck out and you see them throwing a fit or whatever else, do you say anything to them there or just kind of giggle?
I usually go,
They're telling me you have tree trunks for legs because, I mean, basically sit all game, right? Is that true?
no.
What do you mean, no?
I squat.
We have photographs of you sitting every game. Every catcher sits.
Hey,
Everyone
that's
knows.
squatting. That's knee pad. I mean, knee photos. I took them off. You ain't seen that anymore.
So tell me what a catcher goes through in a single day.
Single day. Pretty much blood, sweat, and tears. You work your butt off.
So how many runners try to come home on you in a game? I would imagine at championship level, they all try you.
About pretty much all.
Pretty much
Once
all?
I get about 2 of them out at home, they don't really come much anymore.
They don't bring it anymore then, right?
No, Bilbo.
Let's get the rest of our pictures. Yeah, let's get Bilbo in there.
The man with the girlfriend.
So
No.
Bilbo, the man with a girlfriend. No girlfriend, Bilbo?
Nope.
Because she's probably going to hear this, and if she hears you profess that you do not have a girlfriend, you are going to be in hot water, brother.
don't. No, hold on.
And her name is not what?
I don't have one.
Oh, okay. And the rumor is that we hear in the background, oh, Billsy Willsy, you caught the ball at third base. No? No? Okay. When I played ball as a kid, I was afraid of the ball, especially when I got put on third base because generally a ball coming down the third baseline is pretty hot. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You and the shortstop get some pretty heated balls through that way, right?
Yes, sir. Only
So-
on right-handed batters.
Tell me what you do to prepare for the hit.
I back up a little and creep in.
And what makes you want to creep in, though? Is it just because you can size the batter up or what?
Yes, sir.
So tell me what you're looking for. Kid my size, obviously, you'd back up a little bit, right?
Yep.
Please say yes. Okay, good. Okay, thank God. Well, do you watch some of the other games to kind of see who's really smacking it?
No.
Brave it out, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Ground balls or fly balls or line drives, which are the ones you'd prefer to handle?
Line drives and ground balls.
You're not worried about the ball kicking up and all that other stuff. If you're playing third base, brother, you gotta be brave. Where's the shortstop?
Right here. That's Dylan East.
Is Dylan? Dylan doesn't have a girlfriend, right?
Yes, he does. No, that's he sure does.
So shortstop. All right, has nothing to do with stature, right?
No, sir.
Okay, so you're like what? How tall are you?
About 4 foot.
Would you consider yourself pretty fast to be a shortstop player? Coach, am I right? You pretty much put your fastest fielder on the shortstop?
Put my fastest, yeah, probably shortstop, second base, or probably end up leading him off.
What do you do to prepare for the ball to get hit off the bat like that?
Same thing as Bilbo would just back up and creep.
Do you kind of play a little bit off of Bilbo if he's kind of creeping up a little bit? Do you stay a little bit back in case the ball gets past him so you can cover the field?
Sir.
What about second base?
Me and second baseman, just same thing pretty much as the third baseman.
After that ball gets hit, if let's just say the pitch wasn't as good or it was really good, but the guy has a keen bat, wouldn't you say that you guys are really, really important out in the field?
Yes, sir. Very.
And what is it that you're looking for to make sure you get that out?
Just make sure to field the ball right and make a good throw. Just make sure you finish and follow after your throw. We're going to go with the play.
So y'all strategize.
Yes, sir.
Second baseman is Pierce and pitcher, right, Pierce?
Sir.
Come on up, bud. Been a long time. I haven't seen you since you probably about, 3, 4 years old, somewhere in there? You've gotten quite taller since then.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, Little John, how as a pitcher and second base, you kind of have dual duties, right? As I'm sure all the other pitchers do as well.
Yes, sir.
What position do you like to play the most?
I really like pitching.
So Pierce, what's your favorite pitch?
4-seam.
Okay, can you have any kind of curveballs, fastballs? What do you got?
I got my 2-seam, my changeup, and my 4-seam. That's about it.
And who decides what pitch to throw?
Sometimes the catcher, and sometimes I decide.
When the batters come up and they see you on the mound, what are you watching for? Are you looking for any weaknesses in them? Maybe some shaky knees, or maybe a little bit of fear in their eyes, or maybe a tear like a little girl or something? No offense, girl.
I'm really trying to throw a fast one in the outside corner. If they swing a little early, I know with the next pitch to throw.
Okay, so you're adjusting the entire time based on how the batter is swinging the bat towards the balls that you just recently threw, right?
Yes, sir.
Pretty impressive. Now, real quick, at second base, how do you feel about that position? There's a lot to do, right?
Yes, sir.
So what are you watching for? I mean, you got to cover a lot of ground and,
I don't really know. I just go and catch the ball and throw it.
just go catch the ball and throw it and have fun with it, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, good deal. Let's swing it over to Sean at first base. You're the shortest player on the team, correct?
No, I'm pretty much the tallest player on the team.
Pretty much the tallest player on the team. And I understand that you're saying that you're under 10 years old, but we've asked for a birth certificate because folks, I know you can't see this, but he's 7'6". Okay, this is a big guy, and
5'4".
And he's playing in the league where he towers over everybody else, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, look at this.
They're walking around as a team, and they're somebody's Bobo's looking for a new girlfriend or something like that. He can see over the crowds and pick them out for him. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, I can understand based on your stature why you would be the first baseman, but what goes into that position?
Well, what goes into the position is that you have to focus on what the pitcher's about to do, if he's going to throw it to you or he's just going to pitch home. And when Gavin pitches, it's very confusing on whether he's going to pitch home or pick off to you. But when you see his legs split, you know he's going home. And it's just really easy to tell, but it's sort of confusing when you're on first base with the pitcher that's left-handed.
So you're constantly having to keep your head in the game, as all the other players are, but really when you got a runner on the bag, you've really got to pay attention. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Whenever the pitcher turns and throws to you, what's going through your mind? Because, the short time I ever got to play, it was, oh, God, don't throw it to me. I don't want to drop it. So what's going through your mind when they turn and burn and fire it off?
Well, when they do that, when Gavin's pitching, when he's left-handed, he'll throw to me. Sometimes the runner will take off because it's really confusing runner when either he's going or he's staying there. But most of the time when Gavin picks off, they're usually running. I was taught to when he picks off to first and you see the runner going, get off front of the bag, and you have to get in line with second base, but you have to try to throw around the second baseman. And it's really hard to throw around that runner.
Yeah, definitely hard. Usually on the field, you got some team leaders and stuff like that. Obviously, your pitcher and your catcher are primarily team leaders. Am I right, guys? I mean, but you kind of look and rely on your first baseman to kind of keep everything kind of pepped up. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So what do you do to kind of keep the team going, especially when times get a little bit bad on the ball field? Do you have like a certain speech to get pep back up and get them back in the game?
No, sir, but usually when we're really down, we always end up making a really great play, and then it gets everybody back up.
Okay, so let's jump out to the outfielders. Parker, where you at there, buddy? There he is. Okay, Parker's got the confidence, so I'm thinking that he's got a big arm. Parker, can you tell me where you play and what your primary mission in life is out there?
Well, I play right field, and my most concern is to back up Sean so he won't miss it and the runner won't go to second.
How are you watching the batter? I know that's something that y'all try to do. Is he swinging late? Is he swinging early? Can you tell me what you're looking for to help you get a jump on the ball?
To see either, like, on the first batter, I see if he's swinging late or he's waiting for it.
I know some kids have told me in the past, and when I coach girls softball. Why y'all laughing? What are you laughing for? I can totally coach girls softball. It's the girls. You guys better crack down. There's some in the room. We got to be quiet. You can sometimes hear the way the ball sounds coming off the bat. Does that give you an indication on, do I need to start coming up or do I need to turn and burn backward?
It kind of means that, but sometimes it's different.
Do the guys help you out a little bit? They start pointing up, letting them know that it's coming and it's getting some altitude?
Yeah, sometimes.
Like a little 747 leaving Houston Intercontinental coming at you. So once you've made that play on the ball and you've got to throw it back in, what are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking at whether we get the out, or sometimes I hit the cutoff and sometimes I just throw it to third base.
So good. You're looking for the cutoff guy. Good deal. All right, who's our center fielder? Brady? Where you at, Brady? Just walking up to the mic all suave. Center field. Tell me about that.
It's easy.
You're the man, right? That song was made after you, huh?
No, might be the whole team.
The whole team? Maybe for, the whole team? Mm-hmm. Well, it doesn't say I'm the team, I'm the team, I'm the team.
Kind of.
Kind of does. Long ball. Ball gets hit to the fence. You are chunking it, right, brother?
Yes, sir.
Aren't you a little bit responsible for the right and left fielders? Y'all all kind of cover each other.
I have to back them up.
So you're running just about the entire game when the ball gets smacked out there.
Yes, sir.
How many innings are y'all playing in this league?
6.
When you start going, when your legs are asking each other, hey, can you let me by? I'll let you by, just because they're so tired and they don't want to go anymore. Can you tell me what you kind of have to do mentally and physically to stay in shape enough to play center field like that?
My team helps me.
So, Dylan, real quick, what are you telling him?
Pay attention and get in the game.
Still watched the Lamar softball team when they were playing.
Yeah.
They'd have to get them out of watching the girls.
Time out, Coach. So, wait a minute. So, they just bashed on the girls softball a second ago. But yet, y'all used to get caught watching the girls softball play.
Maybe.
That was fun. Bilbo. Bilbo does a lot.
Nah. They had to get Scrapp's attention to where we could get a picture back on the mound.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, we watched some Lamar girls hit them out.
You watched Lamar girls hit them out, so that kind of made you pay attention to your game again because you don't want to get showed up by Lamar softball girls, right?
No.
Bilbo does it the most.
Bilbo does it the most? It all comes back down to Bilbo. See, there's a pattern here, gentlemen. We need to
He goes
address
watch them
this.
the most. We don't ever get showed up by softball.
All right, so again, Brady, when the ball gets hit to you way deep in center field, if they're standing on second base, are they trying to make it home on you?
Yes, sir.
And what do you do? What are you looking for?
I'm just waiting for D to get in the spot.
And what's Caden doing?
He's ready. He's like...
Is he like beating his chest like a gorilla?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's dragging his knuckles at home plate going, bring it to me!
Yeah.
He's doing that kind of thing. And so just basically psych the runner out, right?
He yells at us. He's like, bring it in.
He yells at you? Bring it in.
Yeah.
What do you think that does to the runner when he's coming around?
Scares him.
You got D in position. He's already got the ball. You've already.
And then you got Gorilla. You got like Gorilla over here.
He's already been trucked.
You got like Godzilla.
Godzilla, yeah. King Kong, something like that.
Godzilla.
He will knock somebody over and just lawnmower him.
So he really is protecting his spot.
Yes.
He already did what?
He's already been trucked, and he held onto the ball. So I just held onto the ball
And just goes, woo.
not get a point.
Did not get a point.
He just runs over him.
Rustin, where you at? Left field. You get a lot of balls hit, don't you?
Yes, sir.
What about these knuckleheads on third and shortstop? They talking a big game, or do they stop everything that comes through?
Yes, sir.
So you're picking up a lot of slack, or they're actually good ball players.
They're good ball.
They're good ball players. So, but you do with these bigger hitters like that. You're getting a workout out there, are you not?
Yes, sir.
And what would you say is that they're just swinging too early on the ball, which hits it over in your area? What are you looking for?
A fly ball.
Looking for a fly ball? Is that your favorite?
Line drive and fly.
Line drives and five, that frozen rope right out there too, so you don't even got to run. You just stick a glove out and go, what? You just catch it, right?
Yes, sir.
That kind of thing. How are you at when they hit the ball to you and there's someone on third? I'm sure that they're thinking, hey, I got home plate. You ever gunned somebody down from out there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? How often do you do that? See, you smile. I can see, ladies and gentlemen, he's smiling, which means he's done it a couple of times. So how many times have you done that?
About 2 times.
So same thing with you. Caden's behind the plate going, throw me the ball, and you just bean it down there. Does it sound like a jet aircraft when it goes through, something like that?
Yes, sir.
So right over third base, so Bilbo's going, wow, what was that? A Scud missile right over his head. Yeah, UFO. He's calling the FBI. Oh, UFO just went by. What about the runner? I mean, you're basically throwing at his back. You worry about hitting a runner or the gorilla behind home plate, just basically presenting a big enough target for
Gorilla.
We're rely basically on that guy, right?
Yes, sir.
Goes home, they're usually going to go back to the third. They better.
Yeah.
We'll come back. Stay with us.
Sports Radio Beaumont brings you the Coach's Corner, Tuesday nights from 5 to 6, hosted by Coach Brandon Morrell. It's the only show in Southeast Texas where coaches and players from Little League to college can chat it up with Coach Morrell as he digs in to find out more about the player next door. So tune into your AM dial every Tuesday from 5 to 6, or listen to the Coach's Corner on sportsradiobeaumont.com or download the Sports Radio Beaumont 1415-1510 app from your app store today.
Can you hear it? Can you feel it? The most storied conference in college athletics has a new home. ESPN brings you the SEC Network. It's 24/7 exclusive live events. Oh my, what a play! Original shows and much more. Go to GetSECNetwork.com and demand it today. The SEC Network, launching August 14th on Dish and AT&T Uverse.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
1, 2, 3.
Coach Brandon Morrell back here in the Coach's Corner on sportsradiobeaumont.com, and also heard every Tuesday from 5 to 6 here on AM 1450 and AM 1510. Pleased to keep local sports here in Southeast Texas all the time. If you ever have an event or a fundraiser or a Little League or anything that you ever can drop me a line, you can always go to the sportsradiobeaumont.com page, click on shows, look under the link there. You can send me information, local tournaments, anything going on that's inundated with local sports.
Let's get Gage in here. Griff, you look familiar to me, which means you're probably Steve's son. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Coach Griff over in West Orange. Little Cypress. Boy, we will totally edit that out. So let me ask you this, Gage. Where do you play?
I play second base.
So when basically Pierce is on the mound, you're covering second. Is it and that's your primary position? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Same thing I asked Pierce earlier. When you got someone on the bag on first base, you're having to cover a lot of territory. What do you do? I mean, how do you adjust for that kind of thing, that open space like that?
Wait for the pitch to be thrown and cover second if he's stealing.
Can you kind of tell when the batter hits the ball, it's already coming to you, or you're kind of having to wait?
Wait for the shortstop to cover the ball and maybe throw it to second.
Gotcha.
Double play.
So, and I did hear you've turned some double plays this season. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were part of that, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me how it felt when you did the very first double play like that.
It felt good. Like, it's a really fast way to get 2 out.
Can you kind of give me an idea of what occurred and how that actually took place?
He hit a ground ball to me, and I went to a knee and threw it to the shortstop, and he threw it to first for a double play.
Okay, so you got a ground ball hot to you right at second position. You zinged it over to shortstop, and then Dylan fired it over to first base, where the big guy Sean was at.
We call him the huge dude.
So typical shortstop player. So D sings it over to first base, and when he calls him out, what do y'all do? Did y'all erupt into chaos and run around and high five each other and stuff like that?
Knuckle bumps, hugs.
So, Gage, this season, I know I hadn't asked you guys about batting. So, just real quick, kind of circle around with batting. How's your batting?
I'm kind of like a leadoff guy, and I can get on base.
So, you're the go-to guy to get on bag first.
Yes, sir.
And you're pretty fast on your wheels. You got good wheels. In other words, you can run pretty quickly.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm looking at you, and I can see, and I asked you earlier, and I thought your response was just absolutely, it's highlight reel response. I see that you got a little bit of shiner going on.
I wasn't wearing sunglasses in practice.
Again, taking a ball to the face or something like that, how do you guys recover? I saw a video of Pierce getting one right in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was his back. Was it your back, Pierce?
Yeah.
Right in the back of the neck.
Straight in the back.
And it was pretty intense, right, Pierce?
Yes, sir.
Have you asked your teammates to stop putting that little piece of paper on your back that looks like a target? Because you know they do that, right? You know the whole kick me like your sister puts on your back?
Yes, sir.
It covers his numbers? Have you asked them to do that for you at least 1 or 2 games so you can recover?
Maybe. Put a pad on it.
Same thing for you, Gage. How many times you been hit this year, bud?
Probably about 5 times. Basically just taking one for the team and getting on base, and that's the best thing you can do.
Good deal, and just shake it off, right?
Yes, sir.
Good deal. Anything else? Hey, you guys got questions for us?
Is Coach Morrell a coach for the Astros?
No, sir. I don't coach for the Astros. I coach high school baseball. I coached at West Orange Stark, and I coached at Sabine Pass the last 2 years.
Hey, this is Brady. Who's your favorite player on the Astros?
Right now, I'd probably say Jose Altuve.
There we go.
He's leading the league in batting average, stolen bases, and on base. So
And pretty much everything.
he's a great player. Dynamic player, can do a lot of things, can get on, steal bags, hit for line drives. He's a good player. I like him a lot.
One of a kind player, too.
Let me ask you guys, who are some of your favorite players, and y'all can name them off one at a time, if just Astros or any team for that matter.
My name is Dylan East, and my favorite player is Nelson Cruz.
My name is Erin Bilbo, and my favorite player is Adrian Beltre. My name is Gage Griffiths, and my favorite player is Chris Davis.
My name is Pierce Brown, and my favorite player is Jose Altuve.
My name's Kane Baum. I don't really have one, but if I had to pick one, it'd be Babe Ruth, Jackie Robinson, or Shoeless Joe Jackson.
I'm Gavin Pollock, and my favorite player for the Angels, Josh Allen. My favorite player is Mike Trout, top down.
Sean, you get the book.
My name is Sean Holm. My favorite player is Derek Jeter.
Oh, Yankee? You couldn't keep it home? Come on now.
Seriously?
At least it didn't say Aaron.
Exactly, yeah, we know where that goes. It's a conversation for another different show right there.
Hello, my name is Rustin Traxler, and my favorite player is Babe Ruth.
Hold up, but I got a question.
Go ahead.
My name's Kane Ball, and I'm asking the comedian, when I came into the spike, the sound that said spike 90%, and Chester 10%, I thought the 10% was you and the 90% was him.
I'll let you address that.
Wow. Woo! Man, and when he drags his knuckles, he drags them hard. No, the deal on the wall there, I'll explain to the radio listeners, is the old Bugs Bunny Spike in Chester where the little dog goes back and forth and he says, come on, Spike, let's play, Spike, let's do this, Spike. It's a way for us to focus that 90% of this radio station is about you. Okay, the ball players, whether you play baseball, softball, or basketball, football. That's the 90%.
Football.
But that 90% is all about you. Y'all pretty much a bulldog in the room, even though you call yourself the beast.
We are the beast.
Do y'all still chatter on the field?
Oh yeah. Every game we get up on the fence when somebody's batting and we yell for the batter, and sometimes a lot of times we get in the pitcher's head and kind of distract him where he'll throw a lot of balls, and if he throws a strike, then we know that our batter will hit something hard.
Can I hear some of your chat while you're out there?
But hold up. Can we not say whip, 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 whip? That's just plain annoying. And then they go again.
And what's the other one?
We have 12 turn. We don't care.
Base hit, ball four.
Base hit, ball four. Base hit, ball four. Base hit, ball four. Base hit, ball four. Base hit.
Okay.
3-1, have some fun. Walking, walking. 3-1, have some fun. Walking, walking. 3-2. 3-2, what you gonna do? Walking, walking. 3-2, what you gonna do? Walking, walking.
We forgot 3-0.
No. What? No.
Do it.
Better,
Butter.
Swing. Hey, we've got everyone. We ain't really that good at this.
All right, Coach Morrell, I'll hand it back to you to close us out.
Hand them the money.
All right, is there anything else that you guys wanted to ask us or ask anybody in here before we close the show?
No, sir.
I think I can speak for everyone that our answer is probably no, except Dylan,
I've got
our
that
shortstop.
question.
All right, go for it.
I'm Dylan East, our shortstop, and I want to ask Coach Morrell, what is your favorite player out of the whole Major League?
So many great players, but I'd probably have to say one that comes to mind the way I like the way he plays the game is Mike Trout, the Angels. I just like
Yes,
him. And now with the Astros, George Springer. You probably haven't seen him, but
Dinger,
Springer Dinger. He's one of the best.
Dinger, Springer, Dinger.
All right, guys, well, we had a little fun today from Southeast Texas Beast, one of the select teams. Go check them out July 18th through the 24th. It's the Baseball Nation tournament coming up. My good friends Morgan Walker out there. We appreciate him being on the show, talking a little bit about the Southeast Texas Baseball Academy. Of course, Jason Tyner, former Texas A&M Aggie. Morgan, we appreciate you taking the time out to join us here this week.
I appreciate it, Brad.
It's always good to have you guys on and spend a little time with you. And I guess one of the first questions I have, too, is what's the latest out there at the Academy? What's been going on?
Well, we just wrapping up. We have a World Series starting next Tuesday. We have ran, I want to say 14 tournaments this year, probably average in the low to mid 80s every weekend. So it's been a great year for us. And, Ford Park is arguably one of the nicest facilities in America. And, Southeast Texas Baseball Academy does a wonderful job running these baseball tournaments. We're excited to do it.
Again, former Lamar Cardinal, Morgan Walker joining us here inside the Coach's Corner with Sports Radio, Beaumont.com, also AM 1450 and 1510, again with the Southeast Texas Baseball Academy. Got to ask you over the years, as I've known you, of course, I remember your playing days at Lamar University. What are some of the things that you miss about playing college baseball?
Well, I mean, the College World Series was kind of, I kind of gave it my all. I got to play 4 years at Lamar and then another 5 years with a Pirate organization. So I got all the baseball out of me now. So I look forward to training kids and training teams now. But I really don't have the regret or anything like that. I don't miss it as much. The only time I kind of miss baseball is basically when I go to a game and watch, like an Astro game or something like that, or even a college game. That kind of brings me back to a long time ago. I used to play game. But now it's just training the young youth and getting them as good as they can. And, we've done a good job, all the instructors, the Baseball Academy, and helping out the youth nowadays.
What are some of those special moments that you've had with the youth?
Too many that, every day you see kids that, you train or just kids you even know that are playing, select baseball. And the baseball has gotten so good in Southeast Texas, and you can just tell that by the number of scholarships people are getting. My organization, personally, Gladiators, they're averaging, a ton of scholarship each year on kids signing, and that's probably the biggest reward to know some kid that you've worked with since he's 9, now he's, already committed to TCU or Rice or, Lamar and, A&M and all these places. I guess that would probably be the thing that's most exciting to go with these kids on signing day when they sign their letter of commitment that they're going to go play baseball at the next level. That's huge to me.
Now, I've got to ask you, of course, your relationship, it doesn't take part. It is a teamwork type situation. You're co-owner out there of the Southeast Texas Baseball Academy. What's your relationship been with former Texas A&M Aggie? What's it been like working with Jason Tyner?
Tyner's great. He's the perfect partner at a point where, he runs the stuff he's supposed to do. I run the stuff I'm supposed to do, and we just do a good job on, just doing our jobs. But, we butt heads like anybody else. He's, if you don't know Jason, he's a pretty stubborn guy. He's not wrong too many times. So, other than that, no, we do a good job together.
Talk to me about some of the other tournaments. I know you guys, you're booked. I mean, you're active doing a lot of the coaching and getting a lot of the kids lined up over there for select baseball. I'm sure there's a lot of tournaments coming up here in the month of July and as we stretch into August, correct?
Yeah, we have one. There's a couple other tournaments at Ford Park that I know of. Our last tournament is starting this Tuesday. We've had a great year. We've had great numbers. We keep doing our job on getting the people here, and which, I guess what's overlooked is people don't realize is the economic impact that these tournaments have. When you start drawing, an 85-team tournament and then all these teams coming in, staying in hotels and eating at restaurants and buying, Southeast Texas gas and spending their money here, it's been a real economic impact. And with the rumor of the bigger fields, supposedly going to be getting built, that's going to be a humongous. Our tournament's going to get bigger and bigger. It's going to be a huge boost for the economic impact.
Now, as far as new facilities out there, you guys are doing a lot of good things to upkeep the facilities, and I understand you mentioned there you're building some new facilities out there?
Yeah, John Hughes is doing a great job with SMG. I know they catch a lot of, heat from people. They've done a real good job on their work ethic and what they've done, but they've done a wonderful job on, maintaining the fields and doing all they can to make that the best possible playing complex, one of the best in America.
Again, Morgan Walker joining us here on Sports Radio Beaumont.com, former Lamar Cardinal, now co-owner of the Southeast Texas Baseball Academy here. I've got to ask you, he's got about, I'd say, close to 1,300, 1,400 wins right now. We've got one of the finest head baseball coaches here in Southeast Texas in our own backyard, a gentleman you had a chance to, like I said, have play for in your entire career. I guess in your mind, your opinion, what makes head coach Jim Gilligan of Lamar University not just one of the best minds in baseball, but one of the best people persons here in Southeast Texas? What is it that most impresses you about head coach Jim Gilligan?
Well, Coach Gilligan's been around the block. You're talking, there's a lot of years of knowledge right there. And a lot of new coaches, you got to learn and you get better each time you coach. So, you take a guy like Coach Gilligan who's been doing it for 400 years, it's just tough to pass up on how much knowledge he knows and everything he knows. And, I remember my days and, when David Hall, before he passed away, he was unbelievable. Between Coach Gilligan and David Hall, a lot of my baseball knowledge that I've learned came from those two guys. So, he does a great job. He does a great job.
Again, Morgan Walker joining us, former Lamar Cardinal and now co-owner of the Southeast Texas Baseball Academy out there at Ford Park. And, of course, Morgan, if people want more information about how to get signed up, of course, join a team out there for Select Baseball, kind of give me some contact information for you. We'll be glad to put it on the air here for everybody and just make sure they're able to call you guys.
It's SETexasBaseballAcademy.com, like, SETexasBaseballAcademy.com. Our phone number at the Baseball Academy is 409-842-3900. But you can find us out there and check the website out. We'd love for people to come by and check us out.
And also, too, what impresses you most about the dedication? You mentioned you have a chance to coach these youngsters, but I think a lot of time and a lot of energy goes into it and a lot of commitment when you have your coaches backing their young talented, too. Those coaches put in a lot of hours, correct?
Absolutely. It's no doubt about it, a business. It's like anything you do. My two kids, whatever they want to do, I'll do it and I'll pay for it as long as they take pride in it and work hard on it. It's just learning from coaches that know what they're doing and stuff like this makes you a better baseball player. And it's no secret that, the kids that are well trained are, usually the better kids because of the training that they do get. There's no doubt.
One of the things I've loved about this area, Morgan, is the fact that, you do get a lot of guys that have a lot of ties to this area and play a lot of select baseball, and they work their way up to the high school ranks. And, by the time these kids hit ninth grade now, they understand the game, the mental makeup of it. They understand, what it's like to just get 3 outs in an inning, have quality at bats. And I think a lot of that's due to, the select programs we run around this area.
Yeah, I can tell you now, I talked to my dad today. Right now I'm currently in Florida with, we have our 9s, 10s, 11s, and 13s are playing in the tournament in Panama City, Florida. And I talked to my dad about it today, and he was just talking about the level of baseball on when I played, just the Little League, the basic Little League, when there wasn't select baseball compared to now. And it's just night and day on what these kids know, like you just said, and how much knowledge, the stuff that, I had no clue about, that I didn't learn for, forever. So it is a whole different game now. I mean, kids, back when I played, you only played, 14-game schedule, then All-Stars. My son right now, he's probably played, upwards to 80 games this year. Wow. So it's amazing on just, and he'll play every week if he could. And that's great. I love it, and that's what makes these kids so good is how much they're playing.
Morgan Walker, we appreciate you, co-owner of the Southeast Texas Baseball Academy, former Lamar Cardinal, out there working hard and doing good justice here in the Southeast Texas area with Jason Tyner, the Texas A&M Aggies, two quality individuals I've known for over the years. We appreciate your time, and hey, best of luck with the Academy, getting guys signed up with the select teams. Anything we can do to put the guys on the air here in Southeast Texas, feel free to give us a call.
You got it, man. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate you spreading the word. Have a great day.
And we're going to talk some girls athletics. Don't get a chance to do that very often, but pleased to be joined by a new friend of mine, of course. Her name is Erin Lovelady. She's now the girls athletic director, head softball and head volleyball coach with the Kelly Bulldogs now. And Coach Lovelady, we appreciate you giving us some time here on sportsradiobeaumont.com.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Talk about some of the things that, I guess, what first of all brought you to Kelly High School. Of course, a rich tradition in many, many athletic programs. But what brought you to Kelly High School to accept the position of girls athletic director?
That has been my dream job. I tell you what, I'm really excited to get started and happy that I have this opportunity. I went to school to be a coach, and then I ultimately pursued a master's degree in sports management, and so this is really a dream job for me. That has a lot to do with why I pursued it. Played volleyball, played softball, I've coached volleyball and coached softball, and I love to coach. I love to coach kids, so that had a lot to do with me pursuing that position.
Again, girls athletic director Erin Lovelady joining us here inside the Coach's Corner with Coach Brandon Morrell. And you mentioned you went to school at Nederland, so I'm sure you knew a gentleman who's a good friend of mine over there by the name of Larry Newman.
Yes, sir, I did. I worked for Coach Newman for a couple of years, actually, too. Played sports there, graduated from there in 2003, and then I went back to coach there for the seasons of 10 and 11 for the softball team over there. So, yeah, Coach Newman's a great guy.
Talk to me about some of the responsibilities that come with being an athletic director, especially on the girls' side.
Sure, just a lot of coordinating with other coaches and trying to get things moving on the girls' athletic side. I definitely want to try to get participation increased, and hopefully working with some of those other coaches, we can start doing that and getting more girls to come out and be participating in girls' athletics.
When you look at some of the other great sports coming up, you look at volleyball season coming up, what are some of your expectations? And if you can talk about a few of your returning starters there as you get ready for volleyball season.
Sure. We have quite a few returning. In fact, we had 4 freshmen that competed on the varsity team last year. So, of course, they're all returning as sophomores, so that's really exciting. I have a lot of great expectations. I want us to be competitive, and I want us to go out and play the St. Pius's and St. Agnes's of the world competitively. So we're gonna get to work real soon, and we're gonna hit it hard, and we're gonna be a competitive force in our district.
But talk to me about your district, specifically in volleyball, and what you expect from your competition.
The volleyball district for 5A TAPS is always very competitive. You have the all-girls school St. Agnes that's always very tough, and you have St. Pius, of course, that's always very tough. It's definitely a competitive district. You're looking at schools that have enrollments that are double us, so it's one of those things where sometimes they have the numbers where we don't. But we're going to work hard to get our skill level to where theirs are.
What about, you mentioned, like I said, your dream job was to become an athletic director, especially on the girls' side. What about Kelly attracted you the most? I guess the type of athletic facilities, was it the type of individuals you'll be working with? What most attracted you about Kelly High School?
Definitely the people I'm going to be working with. I worked at Kelly previously in 2008 as the head volleyball coach, and I met some great people. I get to work with Coach Rabb, of course, Coach Ashby, the trainer over there that I've known for many years. Just that support that I'm going to get from those guys and from our administration side as well. So just great people to work with at Kelly, and I'm looking forward to working with all of them.
One of the things that I noticed is always the coaches do it right, especially at a lot of schools here in this area, very structured, very organized. You know, coaches come in wanting to change the climate and the culture of an athletic system. Is that one of the things that you're looking forward to doing, is just making the sports more competitive there with the Bulldogs?
Absolutely. I'm definitely a structured person. I believe discipline is very important in athletics of any kind, in any sport. definitely want to change the culture at Kelly. I feel like at Kelly it's been a part-time type thing for girls, and even though, of course, they're students first and they're athletes second, I want them to be athletes year-round. So that's definitely changing the climate over there to making kids want to be there, making our girls feel like they have something proud to be a part of. That's definitely a big thing for me.
I always ask, of course, the male coaches out there, and they say it starts, pretty much off-season conditioning. It starts in the weight room. It starts in, in the block scheduling and stuff like that. But in your mind, what kind of starts that change of culture and climate?
Well, definitely off-season program, day one. I mean, we're going to start an off-season program that they've never had. They've never had the opportunity to really have an off-season program because they've never really had a coach that has been able to be in athletics with them full-time. So from day one to the end of school, we will be in an off-season program, and that's going to obviously increase our competitiveness when it comes to any sport that we play at Kelly.
Again, Coach Erin, the Lovelady joining us here inside the Coach's Corner with Coach Brandon Morrell. SportsRadioBeaumont.com every Tuesday from 5 until 6, and, of course, AM 1450, AM 1510. And, Coach, as you get ready to progress into volleyball, of course, that season will fly by before you know it. We'll be here at Christmas and I guess saying hello to Santa Claus. But then if you look at the springtime, you look at switching gears into the softball aspect of things. And talk to me a little bit about your expectations for the softball program and any, of course, student athletes you have coming out in that area.
Sure. Again, I think it comes back to participation. I believe we'll be really young this year. I'm hoping in softball we can ultimately have a varsity and a JV squad. Last year we only had a varsity team, so I'm really hoping that we can get some more girls to come out and really start focus on fundamentals and focus on the basics and trying to build those things back up and get our young kids back into playing, competitively. Again, I hope to have more than one team.
A lot of the areas that I look at, especially when you talk about one of the most important things you brought up, and you look at where I coached a freshman a couple of years ago there at West Orange Star, and I noticed one of the things that, I guess some freshmen do lack is the fundamental side of things, whether they weren't taught that at the junior high level or didn't, play that as far as Pop Warner football, didn't grow up with it. But, as a baseball coach, I know more than anything else, it comes down to the small things, and it comes down to doing fundamentals the right way. Wouldn't you agree?
That's absolutely the most important thing when it comes to baseball and softball. It's definitely a fundamental game. It's really an individual game where you have to perform your individual tasks at your individual position as well as up to bat. Fundamentals are the key, and if you're lacking those fundamentals, you absolutely are right. You will not be as competitive.
How much does, in your mind, I guess, does discipline play an important part? That's one of the things that I know a lot of coaches do struggle with, some more than not. And, especially in the classroom, it always starts in the classroom. We talk about them being students first and athletes second. But how important is discipline in an athletic program in your mind?
I think discipline is, again, one of the most important parts. If you're not in control, you don't have that discipline, they don't understand what your expectations are, then they're a little bit out of control. They want, kids want structure. Kids want that discipline. They want someone to fight for them and to be on their side. And I think when you have that discipline and that structure, that's when you get kids to be the best they can be.
Well, it sure sounds like things are turning around, of course, here in Beaumont with the Kelly Bulldogs. Erin Lovelady, thank you again for joining us here. Best of luck to you and your program as you try to kind of right the ship there with the girls athletic program. Again, girls athletic director, head volleyball, head softball coach there. Erin Lovelady, kind enough to join us here inside the Coach's Corner with Coach Brandon Morrell. Best of luck to you and your program as you guys transition into a new era of girls athletics, and anything we can do for you here at SportsRadioBeaumont.com. We appreciate your time, and we'll definitely get the word out.
All right, I appreciate you for having me. Thank you.
Got to sign off for the night, but thanks to all the guests, all the high school coaches, and everybody who makes this show possible here at Cumulus Broadcasting. We'll see you next Tuesday. Don't forget to tune in. Check out the Facebook page. Check out SportsRadioBeaumont.com. Look under shows. Don't forget to answer the coaches quiz. Have a good time there. Play around. And just enjoy all the different items at SportsRadioBeaumont.com. Appreciate everybody making this show possible, and we'll see you next Tuesday from 5 until 6. On SportsRadioBeaumont.com and also AM 1450 and AM 1510. Good night.
Progressive Insurance, creators of the Name Your Price tool. Choose from a range of coverage options and pick the price that works for you. Visit Progressive.com today.
Mark down your calendars, August 23rd at Buffalo Wild Wings in Beaumont. The Houston Texan cheerleaders, along with Toro, the official mascot, will be making a stop to sign autographs, take selfies, and have a good time. Buffalo Wild Wings in Beaumont, August 23rd.
Sports Radio 1450 AM, 1510 AM invites you to climb into the cage this Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. for Fight Night, hosted by Chad Cooper.
One of my favorite mixed martial artists of all time, Mr. Chet Congo. Just tell me your overall thoughts of signing with Bellator MMA.
Yeah,
I'm excited, just the fact to compete in that tournament.
An hour of everything mixed martial arts and pro wrestling. Hear in-depth analysis along with interviews from the top fighters, promoters, and biggest names in MMA and pro wrestling. Let's go! Fight Night on Sports Radio, 1450 AM, 1510 AM.